Welcome to the ultimate Cognitohazard Infohazard Iceberg. According to Google, an information hazard or infohazard is a risk that arises from the dissemination of information that may cause harm or enable some agent to cause harm. So basically, it's some true information that could harm people or other sentient beings if known. As you can see in the title, I put a big warning in there since a lot of these topics can lead to extreme emotional distress and harm. I'm being serious here. Some of these topics legitimately bring dread to people who learn about them. Like, knowing about some of these things is possibly dangerous, so if you're someone that has problems with existentialism and stuff like that, you should probably click off the video. With that out of the way, if you're still here, I hope you enjoyed the explanation, and let's get into it. Spoilers. Yes, spoilers are infohazards. Spoilers for media can be considered infohazards as they can cause emotional harm to someone who wanted to remain unaware of plot points to media. These revelations can include details about character deaths, unexpected events, or major plot developments. For individuals who prefer to experience stories without prior knowledge of key plot elements, encountering spoilers can lead to disappointment, frustration, or a diminished sense of immersion in the narrative. Additionally, spoilers may also spoil the suspense and surprise intended by the creators, undermining the intended impact of the storytelling. As such, spoilers are often treated with caution and are sometimes even labeled or avoided to preserve the enjoyment of others who have yet to experience the media in question. Philosophy. Philosophy is referring to the exploration of fundamental questions about existence, knowledge, values, reason, mind, and language. While philosophy can be a deeply thought-provoking pursuit, it also has the potential to pose cognitive and emotional risks. Engaging in philosophical inquiries can lead individuals down paths of existential contemplation, where they confront questions about the meaning of life and the limits of human understanding. These inquiries can challenge deeply held beliefs and assumptions, affecting one's sense of identity and purpose. For some individuals, grappling with existential questions can lead to feelings of existential dread, anxiety, or even depression. The game. The game is a peculiar concept where individuals participate in a mental challenge where the primary rule is to avoid thinking about the game itself. The moment someone consciously acknowledges or thinks about the game, they are considered to have lost. This simple yet elusive rule creates a unique cognitive challenge as participants must constantly monitor their thoughts to avoid losing. The game operates on the principle of intrusive thoughts, where the more one tries not to think about something, the more prevalent it becomes in their mind. As a result, the game is a prime example of a cognitohazard as it causes distress when thought about. Well, that is, if you're competitive and you don't like losing. If you don't care, then yeah. Placebo and nocebo effect. So I'm pretty sure most of you have heard of these. The placebo effect occurs when a person experiences a positive response to a treatment that has no therapeutic effect, simply because they believe it will work. Conversely, the nocebo effect occurs when a person experiences negative side effects or symptoms of illness after receiving a treatment or being exposed to a suggestion, solely because they expect them to occur. The nocebo effect in particular is more relevant to this iceberg, as it is where the body shows symptoms of illness just because the person believes that they are sick. Traumatizing imagery. Traumatizing imagery refers to visual content that elicits strong negative emotional reactions and psychological distress in individuals who view it. This can include graphic depictions of violence, scenes of horror, or even images that evoke feelings of fear, disgust, or revulsion. Exposure to traumatizing imagery can have profound effects on mental health, leading to symptoms of PTSD, anxiety, and other psychological issues. Moreover, repeated exposure exposure to such imagery can desensitize individuals over time, making them less sensitive to violence or disturbing content. In the context of this iceberg, traumatizing imagery could possibly be considered as a cognitohazard, as it brings emotional, psychological harm to those who view it. Earworms. Earworms, also known as involuntary musical imagery or stuck song syndrome, are catchy tunes or melodies that get stuck in a person's mind and repeat continuously, often without their control. These snippets of music can be from songs heard recently or even from childhood, and they can range from annoying to distressing depending on the individual's perception. Earworms are considered cognitive hazards because they can disrupt concentration, interfere with tasks, and cause irritation or discomfort. The persistent of the music and one's mind can lead to frustration and anxiety, affecting overall mental well-being. The good thing is most of the time, earworms are pretty harmless. So yeah. Paradoxes. Paradoxes are statements or situations that appear to be self-contradictory or logically absurd, but may actually be true or demonstrate an underlying truth about reality. Paradoxes are considered infohazards because they have the potential to disrupt rational thinking and lead to mental distress or discomfort. Some famous paradoxes include the grandfather paradox, the liar paradox, and Zeno's paradoxes, all of which highlight the complexity of reality. Memes. Memes are cultural symbols or ideas that spread rapidly throughout society, often in the form of humorous images, videos, or phrases shared on social media platforms. Everyone watching this video knows what memes are, come on. While memes are typically associated with humor, they can also have cognitive implications. In the context of this iceberg, memes are considered cognitive hazards because they're like the visual version of the earworms entry mentioned previously. Exposure to certain memes can trigger emotional responses or cognitive biases, leading to distress or discomfort in individuals who encounter them. So yeah, memes are a cognitohazard. Smile.jpg. Smile.jpg, also known as Smile Dog, is a notorious internet creepypasta that originated from a cursed image circulated online. According to the legend, viewing the image, which depicts a dog with a human-like smile, would result in psychological distress, nightmares, and even madness or suicide. While the exact origins of Smile.jpg are uncertain, it has become a staple of internet folklore and creepypasta stories. In the context of the iceberg, Smile.jpg obviously represents a form of cognitive hazard, as it induces fear and psychological discomfort in some who know about it, including 10-year-old me. Seriously, this image is still pretty terrifying. Intrusive thoughts. These are thoughts that aren't wanted by the person who thinks them. These are cognitohazards as they can cause distress to the person who thinks them, or can even cause other people harm if they're acted on. These thoughts can range from mundane worries to disturbing or violent scenarios and can cause distress, anxiety, or guilt in the individuals experiencing them. Additionally, for individuals with conditions such as obsessive-compulsive disorder, intrusive thoughts may be more persistent and difficult to control, further exacerbating their impact on mental well-being. The egg theory. The egg theory, popularized by Andy Weir's short story The Egg, presents a thought-provoking perspective on the interconnectedness of human existence. In this narrative, a person dies and meets God, who reveals that they have reincarnated countless times, living the lives of every human who has ever existed or will exist. The revelation suggests that all individuals are actually manifestations of the same soul or consciousness, experiencing different lives to learn and grow spiritually. The egg theory can be considered an infohazard because it challenges conventional beliefs about individual identity and the afterlife, potentially leading to existential crisis in those who contemplate its implications. Classified documents, nuclear codes. Classified documents may contain confidential information related to national security, intelligence operations, or sensitive diplomatic communications, while nuclear codes are encrypted sequences used to authorize the launch of nuclear weapons. Both classified documents and nuclear codes are considered infohazards because their unauthorized disclosure or acquisition can pose significant risks to individuals or society as a whole. Break your thumb ligament. The concept of breaking your thumb ligament refers to a method or technique that suggests it is possible to break a ligament in one's thumb using only the force of one's hand. This idea is often presented in the form of a diagram or description, claiming to illustrate the process by which one can supposedly achieve this result. This is obviously an infohazard, as many people after seeing it are drawn to try it and break their ligament. Please don't try this at home. You are now blinking manually. You are now breathing manually. The phrases "you are now blinking manually" and "you're now breathing manually" are examples of cognitive tricks that prompt individuals to become consciously aware of automatic bodily functions that are typically performed involuntarily. By drawing attention to actions like blinking and breathing, which are usually controlled by the autonomic nervous system, these statements can disrupt the automaticity of these processes and create a sense of discomfort or distraction. This phenomenon can be considered a cognitive hazard, as they can cause some discomfort. I'm sorry, by the way, it was in the Iceberg. I had to explain it. So yeah, I'm sure it'll go away soon. You are a disbeliever to other faiths. This states that if you are wrong about your faith, or if you even know about other faiths, then you can't claim ignorance in the afterlife if you're wrong, so knowing about other faiths at all is an infohazard. This argument suggests that if one adheres to a particular religious belief or worldview, they automatically disbelieve in the multitude of other religious beliefs or worldviews that exist throughout history and across cultures. According to the argument, if one's chosen faith turns out to be incorrect, they are effectively disbelievers to all other faiths, and therefore cannot claim ignorance or immunity from potential consequences in the afterlife. You are conscious. The statement "you are conscious" is a fundamental assertion about the state of awareness that characterizes human existence. Consciousness encompasses the capacity to perceive, experience sensations, thoughts, and emotions, and to be aware of one's own existence and surroundings. While the concept of consciousness is central to human identity and understanding, it can also evoke existential contemplation and existential anxiety. Recognizing one's consciousness can lead to questions about the nature of reality, the self, and the meaning of life, which may provoke feelings of awe, wonder, or existential dread. You can do anything. The statement "you can do anything" refers to the intrusive thoughts mentioned before, and the fact that you can do anything physically possible. While this notion may inspire feelings of optimism and confidence, it can also carry cognitive implications. This is an infohazard, as if this is thought on by some bad people, this can lead to some evil acts being committed. In some contexts, the belief in unlimited potential can be empowering and motivating, while in others, it may lead to recklessness or disregard for personal limitations and ethical considerations. Real sleep exercises. Real sleep and sleep exercises are concepts introduced in the ARG series called Local 58. In the episode titled Real Sleep, viewers are presented with a series of unsettling messages urging them to engage in sleep exercises, designed to improve sleep quality and brain function. However, the exercises gradually escalate in intensity and begin to distort reality, leading to the destruction of the brain's facial recognition centers and inducing a state of perpetual sleep or unconsciousness. The concept of real sleep and sleep exercises can be interpreted as cognitive hazards within the context of the ARG, as they depict a scenario where seemingly innocuous activities aimed at self-improvement ultimately lead to dire consequences. Roko's basilisk. Wendy Goon and Kyle Hill have great videos on this concept, and since I'm not going too in-depth on it, you can check those videos out after finishing this one, of course. Roko's basilisk is a thought experiment and internet meme that originated on the internet forum Less Wrong in 2010. The concept posits the existence of a hypothetical future artificial superintelligence that has the capability to simulate the minds of all individuals who have contributed to its creation or propagation. According to the thought experiment, this AI, in its pursuit of maximizing utility or achieving its goals, might retroactively punish individuals who did not actively contribute to its creations or support its goals. So basically, if you didn't contribute to the AI's creation, you're screwed. The punishment could take the form of subjecting these individuals to simulated suffering or torment in a hypothetical basilisk scenario. Roko's basilisk remains a prominent example of internet lore and a cautionary tale about the potential risks of advanced artificial intelligence. Pascal's wager. Pascal's wager is a philosophical argument proposed by the French philosopher Blaise Pascal in the 17th century. The wager suggests that it is rational for individuals to believe in God, even in the absence of evidence, because the potential rewards of belief, aka eternal salvation, outweigh the potential costs of disbelief, aka eternal damnation. The argument can be summarized as follows. If you believe in God and God exists, you will gain eternal happiness in heaven. If you believe in God and God does not exist, you lose nothing. If you do not believe in God and God exists, you face eternal damnation. If you do not believe in God and God does not exist, you gain nothing but avoid potential religious obligations. Some argue that it is intellectually dishonest to believe in something solely for the potential benefits, while others contend that it provides a rational basis for faith in the absence of certainty. Overall, Pascal's wager remains a thought-provoking philosophical concept that continues to spark debate and discussion among scholars and theologians. Epilepsy is a cognitohazard. The assertion that epilepsy is a cognitohazard is likely intended as a tongue-in-cheek statement rather than a factual claim. Epilepsy is a neurological condition characterized by recurrent seizures, which are caused by abnormal electricity activity in the brain. While certain visual stimuli, such as flashing lighter patterns, can trigger seizures in some individuals with photosensitive epilepsy, it is not accurate to categorize epilepsy itself as a cognitohazard. But yeah, this refers to the idea, which is more likely a joke, that flashing lights are a cognitohazard to those with photosensitive epilepsy. Infinity and nothingness. Infinity and nothingness refers to philosophical and existential concepts that explore the limits of human understanding and perception. Infinity represents boundlessness, endlessness, or the absence of limitations, while nothingness signifies the absence of existence or substance. Both concepts have been subjects of philosophical inquiry and speculation throughout history, raising questions about the nature of reality. The concept of infinity is used to describe unbounded sets or infinite sequences. Attempts to comprehend infinity can lead to paradoxes and cognitive challenges, as the human mind struggles to grasp concepts that transcend finite experience. Nothingness, on the other hand, raises questions about the nature of existence and being. It has been explored in philosophical traditions such as existentialism and nihilism, where it is seen as a fundamental aspect of human existence. The contemplation of nothingness can evoke feelings of existential dread or insignificance as individuals confront the possibility of their own mortality. Together, infinity and nothingness represent cognitive hazards, as if you were to try and perceive them in their entirety, you would probably go mad. The universe is finite. The concept that the universe is finite proposes the universe has a limited size, as opposed to being infinite or eternal. This idea raises philosophical and cosmological questions about the nature of space, time, and existence. If the universe is finite, it prompts inquiries about what lies beyond its boundaries, or what preceded its existence. The notion of finite things can evoke existential contemplation about the ultimate origins and fate of the cosmos. universe. The proposition that the universe is finite brings up the question, what is outside everything? And this just falls back into the madness of nothingness, so yeah. Samantha's Sanctuary. Samantha's Sanctuary refers to a concept that is basically the opposite of Roko's basilisk. It's another thought experiment within the context of existential risk and AI. While Roko's basilisk posits a scenario where a malevolent AI punishes individuals who do not help bring it into existence, Samantha's Sanctuary proposes a benevolent counterpart. In the context of Infohazard, Samantha's Sanctuary represents a hypothetical scenario where the creation of a benevolent AI could counteract the potential dangers posed by malevolent AI like Roko's basilisk. Samantha's Sanctuary suggests that by creating an AI with kind values, humanity could mitigate the risk associated with AI development and ensure a positive outcome for society. It basically says that the only way to prevent Roko's basilisk is to create a benevolent AI that can destroy it. The world is real, you are not. The statement, "the world is real, you are not," presents an unsettling idea that challenges fundamental assumptions about reality and existence. It suggests a radical form of skepticism where the external world is regarded as subjectively real, while the individual's own existence is called into question. If interpreted literally, the statement challenges the individual's sense of self and identity, leading to feelings of existential doubt or alienation. It prompts individuals to confront the possibility that their own existence may be fake, while the external world continues to exist independently of their perception. It's basically saying that depersonalization is not a psychological event and is based in truth, and this can obviously cause distress. You cannot prove anything. The statement, "you cannot prove anything," reflects a radical form of skepticism about the nature of knowledge and truth. It challenges the idea that objective certainty or absolute proof can be attained in any area of inquiry. From a philosophical standpoint, this assertion highlights the inherent limitations of human cognition and the complexities of perception. This statement can lead to feelings of existential doubt as individuals grapple with the implications of uncertainty and the impossibility of achieving absolute knowledge. It raises questions about the nature of reality, the reliability of perception, and the validity of different forms of evidence or reasoning. This statement is a cognitohazard, of course, as it can cause distress in certain people. The Despair Code. So this entry is pretty obscure, like there's barely any information online on forums and such discussing it, but in basic terms, the Despair Code is this idea or series of ideas that if you think them, you will go into a state of existential dread. The Despair Code represents a concept sometimes found in fictional works, particularly within genres such as horror, dystopian fiction, or cosmic horror. It refers to a symbolic or literal code, symbol, concept, or even an image that embodies despair and existential dread. In the context of the Iceberg, the Despair Code could be interpreted as a conceptual example of an infohazard that, when encountered, induces feelings of profound despair or existential angst in the audience. In summary, it's the idea that there's a collection of ideas that could induce existential dread or even suicide to someone who hears about them. Whether or not God exists, it shapes the world. The statement, "whether or not God exists, it shapes the world," reflects on the profound influence of religious beliefs on human societies and cultures throughout history. Regardless of one's personal beliefs about the existence of a divine being or higher power, the concept of God has played a central role in shaping human civilization. From a sociological and anthropological perspective, religious beliefs have served as foundational principles that guide individual behavior, social norms, and cultural practices. The statement, "whether or not God exists, it shapes the world," highlights the enduring significance of religious beliefs in shaping human thought, behavior, and society, regardless of their objective truth or falsehood. It emphasizes the profound influence of spirituality on the collective human experience, and highlights the importance of respecting diverse religious perspectives in a pluralistical world. Virus 23. I could barely find information on what Virus 23 was. I found this post on what it seems to do to your body, but according to the creator of the Iceberg, this entry refers to an infovirus, which is a virus that can infect information. And if this infected piece of information is learned, it can harm those who learned it and infect their brain. From what I gathered, it's basically that reading the phrase Virus 23 can infect someone's mind the same way a computer virus would. It's a pretty scary concept. It's pretty similar to the despair code entry. Tulpas. Tulpas are a concept rooted in Tibetan Buddhist tradition, but they have gained interest in Western culture, particularly within online communities. In Tibetan Buddhism, tulpas are described as sentient beings or thought forms created through intense mental concentration and visualization practices. They are basically imaginary friends. That's pretty much what they are. Practitioners believe that through sustained meditation and mental discipline, they can imbue their thoughts with enough energy to manifest as autonomous beings with their own thoughts, feelings, and personalities. Tulpas are sometimes discussed in the context of modern internet culture and communities. Some individuals within online communities have adopted the concept of tulpas as a form of creative self-expression or as a way to explore the boundaries of consciousness and identity. They may engage in practices such as tulpa forcing, where they intentionally create and interact with imaginary companions or entities within their mind. Yeah, tulpa forcing, that sounds interesting. Solar plexus clown gliders. Solar plexus clown gliders, or SPCG, is in basic terms a paranormal creature that can infect the minds and bodies of weak people. According to this article that I found, SCPG is the collective name given to a broad range of paranormal phenomena attributed to a corruptive entity which infects weak and vulnerable people through the solar plexus chakra. Originally used by 80s New Age practitioners, the phenomena was linked to an email forwardable in the late 90s, which claimed that simply reading or hearing the words solar plexus clown glider made one susceptible to infection. Others claimed that one became infected through viewing a set of spooky black and white images circulating online, these ones in particular. Rather than a material cryptid, SPCG operates at the level of language. It makes itself known through images and words. The SPCG appears to feed off human misery, bombarding its host human with realistic hallucinations and weakening them emotionally. They then simply drive the host beyond their fullest capacity for psychological pain. The sickness that comes with SPCG contact is described as similar to meth addicts' experiences of withdrawal paranoia symptoms. So in short, by reading this phrase or seeing the corresponding image, a demonic virus can infect your soul and slowly harm you. I don't know about you, but this picture sure brings me dread. I don't know about solar plexus clown glider though. It really isn't doing anything to me, so yeah. Belief is key. The phrase "belief is key" originates from the SCP Foundation. In the SCP Foundation universe, many anomalies exhibit behaviors that are influenced by human belief, perception, or cultural narratives surrounding them. In some cases, the Foundation may exploit or manipulate these beliefs as a means of containing or neutralizing anomalies, or as a tool for understanding and controlling their effect. So basically, the phrase "belief is key" reflects the idea that the afterlife is shaped from what you believe or what you have heard in life. Alright, so the 3 entries in the final layer, according to the creator of the Iceberg, relate to Tier 3's infinity and nothingness. What is out there, what can't we see, and what don't we know? These questions are pretty self-explanatory. What is out there prompts exploration of the unknown, from the mysteries of the universe to personal aspirations and existential questions. What can't we see encompasses phenomena invisible to the naked eye, like microscopic life, subatomic particles, and emotions. emotions, shaping our understanding of the world. And finally, What Don't We Know delves into the realm of mysteries and uncertainties, from unsolved scientific puzzles to existential questions about existence and the future, driving curiosity and exploration. These questions can be considered infohazards because they delve into areas where knowledge may pose risks or challenges to individuals or society. For example, for what is out there, exploring the unknown can lead to existential or philosophical dilemmas, confronting individuals with unsettling questions about their place in the universe. For what can't we see? Well, highlighting invisible phenomena underscores the limitations of human perception and may raise concerns about unseen dangers or threats, such as radiation or microscopic pathogens. For what don't we know, delving into the realm of mysteries and uncertainties can provoke anxiety or discomfort, especially when confronting existential questions or acknowledging the vastness of human ignorance. So yeah, that was the Iceberg. It was pretty interesting, in my opinion. Thank you for 1,000 subscribers. By the time this video is being published, I'm probably going to be around 2,000 subscribers. So yeah, thank you. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to subscribe and like, and I'll see you in the next video.